What's up, everyone? All right, today we're going to talk about energy balance. So this is a very fun and very important topic because it helps us understand how our bodies get and use energy from the food that we eat and drink, right? So the more basic the topic, the easier it is to understand and implement. So by understanding this key concept of energy balance, you are able to take control of your weight. You can see how you are directly in charge of your weight, whether you want to gain muscle or lose body fat. Knowledge is power, but also it is up to you to implement what you learn. It's not about how much you know, but it's about how much you can implement, right? So without implementation, knowledge is worthless. All right, so let's talk about the key concept here, which is energy balance. And simply put, it is calories in versus calories out. Let me share screens here really quickly, because what we'll do, I'll use a little whiteboard here. All right, I'm going to share that. Perfect. All right. So with energy balance, calories in versus calories out. So why is this important? It's important because, first of all, calories in, these are the units of energy that we get from eating food. Every time we eat, we're giving our bodies energy. Calories out, these are the units of energy that our body uses to do everyday things that we normally do, like running around, working out, even sleeping. Why we need energy? We need energy because our body needs energy to be alive. Simply put, our body needs energy and we get energy from the food that we have. So to break this down even further, let's break down how our body uses energy throughout the day. This is what we call TDE. TDEE. Now, TDE stands for Total Daily Energy Expenditure, TDE for short. So TDE is basically a breakdown of a few things here. It's a breakdown of our BMR, and our BMR, actually, I'm just bring down everything that it breaks down for first. So it's our BMR, it's our NEAT, it's our physical activity levels, and it's our thermic effect of food. So TDEE equals BMR plus NEAT plus PAL plus TEF. So following this so far, let's break this down. So these are the different ways that our body spends energy. So let's start with BMR. BMR is your basal metabolic rate. This is the energy our body needs just to stay alive. So things like breathing, keeping our heart rate beating, things that even if we're in a coma, this is what we need. This is what our body burns for energy. And that's what our energy for our bodies needs to stay alive. So that is BMR. Next is, well, first of all, BMR is actually going to be, believe it or not, 70% of our TDE. It's a high number. It's a lot higher than most people think it is. It actually brings about 7% of all of our total calories that we spend for the day. So even if we lay in bed, all those good things, everything to keep us alive, that's what BMR is. Next is NEAT. That is our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT for short. And what this is our daily movements. This includes all the little activities that we do throughout the day that are not exercise, that are not working out. So things like walking home from your car, things like fidgeting, taking out the garbage, getting up from your bed when you wake up in the morning. All these small activities really add up and actually use a good amount of energy. So that's another percentage of our TDE, total daily energy expenditure. Next would be PAL. It's going to be your physical activity. Let me write that out. Physical activity levels. What this is kind of like exercise, playing around. This is what we use when we're being active, like playing a sport, working out in the gym, doing lifts, doing some HIIT cardio, doing some CrossFit workouts. These are like workouts and exercise that we use. And it's an important part of our daily energy use. It's a lot smaller than expected for most people. Exercise is very important for our health, but it doesn't use as much of our daily energy as some people think. It's usually about around the 10% mark, which is pretty shocking for a lot of people. People really believe in, Apple Watches to make sure you burn all these calories. Those are wildly inaccurate. So PAL, it's about 10% of our total daily energy expenditure. And the last is going to be TEF. This is a fun one, TEF. TEF is a thermic effect of food. So this is basically our bodies digesting food. Our body uses energy to break down and digest the food that we eat. And when it comes to our macros, our protein, our carbs, and fat, protein uses the most energy out of all those macros. So compared to the fats, compared to the carbs, protein requires the most energy to digest. It also helps you, that's why it kind of helps you keep satiated, keep full throughout the day. So if you're with me so far, energy balance, calories in, calories out. Energy balance is about TDEE. That's the most important aspect. Total, I should write that down. Total daily energy expenditure. And that equals BMR, NEAT, PAL, and TEF. All right, so practical application here. Let's kind of put what we're learning into practice to understand how our bodies, how we balance our energy, right? So keeping a balance is basically calories in and calories out. They balance out. So let's say, for example, someone has a TDE of 2,000 calories per day. This person's TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, including everything, BMR, NEAT, PAL, TEF, everything this person does throughout the day is 2,000 calories, right? So if we wanted to maintain our weight, we need to have a calorie balance, an energy balance. So the food that we eat, the calories in, needs to balance with the foods, with the energy that we expend throughout the day. So if we eat too much and don't use enough, we gain weight. If we don't eat enough, we can lose weight based on your TDE of 2,000 calories. So let's do this example here. Let's say someone has 2,000 calories for TDE, and let's say this person wants to lose weight, okay? If this person eats 2,000 calories every single day, weight stays the same. Now, if we bring this person down and this person has 1,600 calories per day, so it's going to be minus 400 calories per day. So this person's intaking 1,600 calories per day. So what happens here is if you eat less than your TDE, let's say 1,600, your body will then start to use stored energy, which is fat, and you'll lose weight. On the opposite side, if this person wants to gain weight and has a plus 400 calories, so brings it up to 2,400 calories, this person will gain weight. This is all based and relative to the TDEE. So the further you are away from your TDE, the more fat loss or weight gain can be achieved. So can someone, maintain weight at 2,000 calories? Of course. Can someone maintain weight at 1,900 calories? Of course. Can someone maintain weight at 2,100 calories? Yes, definitely. But the idea here is the farther away you are from this number of your TDE, the more change will be elicited in the terms of gaining weight or losing weight. So weight loss is having and creating a caloric deficit, which is 1,600 calories for this particular person, and farther away, the more weight you could lose. So you want to have at least 20% in reduction from your TDE. So for this person, 20% would be 400 calories. With this, you could expect to lose about half a kilo or a pound per week. And of course, the lower you go, the more aggressive that cut is, but it comes with more difficulties of being hungry, lack of energy, things like that. So for the sake of this example here, we're still using 2,000 calories for TDE, minus 400 will give you 1,600 calories per day. This, during a consistent period of time, will elicit about 1 pound of fat loss per week. Now, to understand more of this breakdown here is with your BMR is your baseline energy, right? This is what your body needs just to keep working. It's vital functions like your heart breathing, your heart beating, your lungs breathing, all these different things. Your role of NEAT is daily small activities that are involuntary, a hiccup, a sneeze, things like that takes calories, it takes energy. And then of course, the impact of physical activity, your workouts, and then lastly, TEF, the energy cost of digesting. So all of these things at 2,000 calories minus 400 gives you 1,600 calories, elicits 1 pound per week. Takeaway points here, and the whole point I'm bringing this up here is by understanding these concepts, we can make sure that you're getting the right amount of energy from the food and use it in a way that keeps you healthy and hits your goals, whether it's losing fat or building muscle. It all comes back to energy balance. So the big point, the big takeaway that I want you all to have and understand is it's not about your calorie deficit not working with your calories. Simply put, if you're not losing weight, it means you're not in a caloric deficit. If you're not gaining weight, it means you're not in a caloric surplus. So yes, we could maintain our weight here at our TDE at 2,000 calories. You could maintain it at 2,100 calories. You can maintain it at 1,900 calories. The idea is you want to have a big enough gap from your TDEE in order to elicit some changes. Let me stop presenting here for a second. So the farther away you are from your TDE, the more aggressive that cut or that bolt can be. There's going to be guidelines, of course, and that's what we're here to help you with, to make sure that we do it in a way that still is in line with your goals, such as building muscle or maintaining as much muscle if you were in a large enough cut. So the further away you are from that TDE, the more we can create the change, which is why when people who say, I only, let me drop just 100 calories from my TDE to lose weight. No, you need a big enough, a large enough deficit to create those adaptations, which for us, we like to suggest a 20% deficit or a 20% surplus. That's kind of the minimum that you want to achieve for fat loss or for muscle gain. But the whole point, like I said, is to understand energy balance. Understand calories in versus calories out. This is the sole driving mechanism of fat loss. Things like metabolism, metabolic rate, hormones, all that kind of stuff, they definitely play a role in your calorie expenditure, your calories out. but it still comes down to your calories and your calorie deficit and or your calorie surplus. So if you understand this, and most of all, understand how to create a negative energy balance, you'll have the power to start taking control of your life, your weight, and your physique.